Welcome, CNG 125-500 to Monday. Um, we passed week one. Like I said, it should have been an easy week. Should have been all review. Um, it was just kind of you getting used to Cengage Mind Tap. Kind of, I hope most of you explored in there. But as you saw, nothing was really due for that first week. Um, since you were just kind of getting used to getting started. Type content. This week does change. Um, this week we have click that. This week we have week two, where we look at let's see, network infrastructure and documentation. Um, with this week, we kind of take a broad look at components of structured cabling. Look at DMARC, look at cabling, look at monitoring the environment, network documentation, change management. That's highly important. And as you can see here, this kind of looks like you run across this a lot. Um, in places that that are unstructured, I should say unstructured, because usually you start to one thing is to visually um, mark cables, put tags on cables, and then you also start to color code cables. Sometimes cables are blue, sometimes they're white. They could be actually any color. But you start to formulate some sort of plan. So when you look at the back of servers or switches or the front of switches, the network admin understands what is going on by looking at the cable format. Uh, I don't know. In real life, you run across unmanaged cable systems a lot, and they're just very time consuming to fix. Um, there was a small building. I used to manage their IT closet, and basically cleaning it up, I billed them for a little over 3 days, 24 hours worth of work. It wasn't cheap, $100 an hour. But I went in and basically, I wouldn't say rearranged it, but I put order to it. Made it look nice, made it look presentable. So if somebody walked in, they were like, "Oh, this is good cable management." I can tell what's going on. I labeled, put little labels on each one that was a separate business. It was a multi-business eggshell, or I shouldn't say eggshell, multi-business incubator. So there's many small businesses in the building. So I had to group those up by businesses, um, and it made a lot of sense out of it. It really truly looked like this when I was done. It looked very nice. I actually have a picture on my phone of when I finished, how it looked. I'll share that. Network documentations, diagrams, operating procedures, um, inventory, labeling, name conventions is another thing we look at. If you look around most businesses and look at their wall plates, you're going to see numbers, sometimes letters and numbers mixed together, designating that specific wall plate and where it's located. And that's basically part of the network diagram on that big map internally. Let me see if I can bring one up. And for a network diagram, we're actually going to do these later on this semester. Whoa. Later on this semester, where you're drawing your excuse me, your scenario for whatever I give you. So you're putting in firewalls, switches, routers, client computers, servers, these things like more switches. But you'll be drawing these up as the network diagram. So you can say, there is a firewall, a wireless router, an IP phone, a printer, a laptop. So I think this would be changed from a direct connect image to more of a Wi-Fi signal image, signaling that that laptop's connected through Wi-Fi, not directly plugged in. And that would be your network topology or your network diagram. Your operating procedure, how you update the switches, firewalls, everything on your network, change management, updating OSs within, as you learned last in CNG 124, switches, routers, they're all computers, but they're only designed to do one thing, route, switch, etc. And those will need firmware upgrades and hardware upgrades. And that's about change management falls into place. That pretty much rounds out week 2. We have homework this week. You do have assignments, virtual machine labs, lab simulations. Get started on these early in case there are errors this week, and get those done. The quizzes, I believe, are working. I took a look at those, so there should be no issues there. And that should finish out this week. Yep. And that should finish out this week. If you have any questions, reach out through email or hop in that Google channel and ask the questions. But this week should be almost close to a regular week. And with that, you guys have a great start, and I'll start grading here shortly.